Now, for what seems to be a very good TV show, Wandavision has really done itself out this time. So let's talk about it in the Wandavision Episode 1 and Episode 2 review. So, we'll dive straight into it with the commercials in Episode 1 and then Episode 2. Then we'll talk about the good and the bad. I'm mixing all the episodes up from Episode 1 to 2, so it's a quicker, easier, on-point review. So we're going to start with the commercials. The commercials in Episode 1, I'd say, with the Stark Industry toaster, I think was a nod to when Wanda and her brother, Quicksilver, Pietro, I can't say his name very well, died, saw the bomb blink in front of them, because there was a little flashing red light, which was the first piece of colour we saw on this episode, since WandaVision really started. So I think that blinking red light which I described was that the bomb which never went off, but the parents died. Another speculation which us fans have is that the commercial people, the woman and the man who we don't know anything about, they could just be paid actors, could be Wanda and Quicksilver's parents. If that was the case, I'd say that we'll probably find out by episode 6, because apparently that's when the commercials end and we get into the 3 episodes of the deep MCU blockbuster action sci-fi thing, which everyone's looking forward to. But I thought the sitcom type of thing was really, really good, and it was something immersive to start off Phase 4, but definitely a good way. Now, episode 2's commercials about the Strucker watch was a nod to obviously Hydra, because it had a Hydra logo on the watch. Now, I don't think that we'll see Hydra in the series. I think it's just a nod to Age of Ultron when Hydra first took in Wanda and Pietro. But if that is the case, and if Hydra are part of it, it'll be interesting to see how they intertwine with this sitcom world, because we know Sword's in it, which I'll talk about in a minute. So we'll go on to the good. Now, the good things about this episode is the story, the simplistic ways which Marvel developed these sitcom storylines, Sword, and there's one more. Yeah, just the characters in general, really. So first of all, we'll talk about the actors. Elizabeth Olsen in particular was a really, really good actor. I could see her being in a Broadway show at this point, which if you don't live in the UK, it's like a big theatre company, which does all sorts. I could see her in there, and she really, really, really brought the sitcom vibe to the MCU in a way which was quite spooky at times. Like when we saw the beekeeper at the end of episode 2, and she said no, and all of a sudden she rewinded back to the beginning, so the Vision never saw the beekeeper. I thought that was really, really cool. And also, the bit about the aeroplane, the red and yellow one, which dropped into the bush, which had the Sword logo on, I was so excited. And I think that's the way how Monica Rambeau, spoiler alert, comes into WandaVision in episode 2. I think in bed when there was a night vision scene at the start of episode 2, which was bewitched, I thought the rustling of the bushes was actually the helicopter shrinking into Westview, which is where the suburban town is set. So yeah, I think that's definitely a nod that's how Sword came in, and that Wanda visited them. But I'll talk about Agnes in a minute, because I think Agnes is something behind her. Now we'll go to Vision. Vision was a very low-key character. I could have seen Paul Bettany not as much into sitcoms as Wanda was. But in episode 1, where it began and they were doing a dance into the house, going in the car, well, I absolutely loved that scene. And the Mr. Hart choking scene, I was like, so is Wanda controlling this with Vision, or is it just him, Mr. Hart, choking into the real world? It's a very, very confusing lie. Very confusing. But it gets your head thinking. Now, in episode 2, when Vision got the gum and he put it down into his cog system, I really like the animation they used there to actually represent the gum and what it is showing. It was like, it's basically drunk Vision. He gets drunk in all sorts. He doesn't eat, obviously, because he's a mechanical robot. Use Jarvis and Ultron together. So yeah, that's all the good things. And like I said, the sitcoms was just fabulous. I loved that. So we'll go on to the bad. I wouldn't say this show's not bad at all, it's amazing, but the things which they could have done better. And the first thing is, at the end of episode 2, when everything went to colour and Wanda started to have a child, I think, oh yeah, I forgot to mention Agnes, when she kept on mentioning the beginning of episode 1, oh, why don't you have children, Wanda? I think she's the one who made Wanda have children at the end of episode 2, along with Dottie, because something's wrong with Dottie with the red blood on her hand. Did she cut it in the real world? We really don't know. We'll have to find out, hopefully, in episode 3, a bit more about them. So back to the bad. Kind of bad, I like to say. So, we have, obviously, the main characters, Wanda, and we see Monica Rambeau. Now, I wish when we saw Monica, we'd have seen how she got there, but obviously they're going to say that till the last 3 episodes, which Paul Bettany, who plays Vision, did confirm would be the long, about hour type episodes, which is what I'm really, really looking forward to. And I wish that it wouldn't have just dived in straight to the sitcom, and they would have explained how they got there and what this type of world is, because it's starting to confuse people, including me. But I'm just holding on to this show because I hope it's MCU Phase 4 now, and I know they're going to blow it out of the park. I can't wait for the next episode of the 70s, which is, spoiler alert, the Brady Bunch. I got that from my fellow YouTuber Grace Randolph. Go follow her. So overall, I think this episode, the episode 1 and episode 2, were a strong start to the MCU Phase 4, something Kevin Feige's never attempted to do before. But I think he blew it out of the park. What did you guys think? Let me know in the comments down below. Like and subscribe if you're new. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.